When most people think of Romania, they're thinking of Brasov, Bucharest, cities where people do come and visit that are big tourist hubs here in Romania. But today, we aren't in Bucharest, we aren't in Brasov, and we aren't in any of the big touristy areas of this country. Romania is a massive country, and we're actually located in the western part of this country in one of the most beautiful cities I think I've seen. Welcome to one of the most beautiful cities in western Romania, because this is Timisoara. Like I just mentioned, Timisoara isn't usually on the touristy travel bucket list, and there's reason for that. You know, it's not the easiest to reach, especially if you're flying into Bucharest. It's a couple hours west into the country, and it's not a very big city, it's a very small city. I think you can just look right around me. It looks like I'm something out of Austria. There's no doubt in my mind that this is probably one of the most beautiful places in the world. Yeah, we started our entire tour of the city in this little area. You've got these beautiful European-styled buildings all around it, and most of it has turned into cafes, restaurants, shops, tourist things, stuff like that, usually for more local tourists. But you can also see there's this beautiful structure right in the center of the plaza, basically, and it's just beautiful. It's calm, it's quiet. You don't feel like you're in a city. You almost feel like you're in a small, charming little town here in Romania. In the past, this square, which is known as Union Square actually, used to be a marketplace. So in the old times, the medieval times here in Timisoara, Romania, this would be where people come up to set their cheese stall, their food stall. Now, you'll know if you've been following this series that we recently just came from Serbia. But just because we left Serbia does not mean that Serbian influence is going to be gone from these videos, because this right behind me is the Serbian Orthodox Church here in Timisoara. That is definitely a Serbian church. I mean, when you walk in, you can instantly tell the way the architecture is, the way, you know, the layout of the church. That's definitely Serbian. There's no doubt about it. After seeing so many churches in Serbia, I know that that is a Serbian church. It's beautiful on the inside. I love the paintings on the actual walls, as I do with all Serbian churches. And I think it's just the chandeliers. The chandeliers are beautiful. They're like this pure glass looking. It's stunning. It actually is stunning. But I have to say, one of those beautiful churches I have seen here in Eastern Europe as well. I feel like Serbian churches and Eastern European churches are just so beautiful. I don't know why, but they're just stunning. Let's go ahead and head around the Timisoara city center. Right in front of me here, a little bit outside actually of the old city, is a really important building. This is the memorial to the Romanian Revolution in 1989. Let's go inside and check it out. That is actually one of the most amazing, incredible museums I've ever seen. It's really informative. I didn't really realize how important Timisoara is to the Romanian Revolution. It started in Timisoara. It started when people here in Timisoara, when access to Western, news and Western media came, and sort of realized, we don't have to accept this type of communist dictatorship under Ceausescu, I think is his name, and they fought back and they freed Timisoara, and that led to a big revolution that happened in Bucharest and other parts of Romania. So really, it started here in Timisoara. Timisoara is the birthplace of the Romanian Revolution. They have a lot of really cool things in there, a lot of exhibitions, very informative, and the people are very friendly. They're very proud to tell you about Romanian history and the beauty of the Romanian Revolution and how democracy ultimately prevailed. This right behind me is actually a piece of the Berlin Wall that came down, so they actually have it here in Timisoara, but definitely an amazing experience. If you want to know Romanian history, I think it actually might be better to learn it here than in Bucharest, because this is where it started. This is the birthplace, and this is, where the revolution began. So if you want to know about modern Romanian history, this is the place to go. This square right here is known as Liberty Square, and it's a pretty important square here. Right behind me was the old city hall. You've got one of these religious statues that were replaced actually during the time of the communist rule, but it has been reinstalled in its proper form right here. This is the monument I'm talking about, and it's stunning, by the way. The carving, it's beautiful, and they've got this like golden wreath on the top. It is absolutely stunning. Behind me used to be some military something, some military garrison, some military facility that was used. But this is Liberty Square, and as you can see around me, it's massive, and there's like barely anybody here now. That might have to do with the heat. And just like all the other squares here in Timisoara, you've got these sort of restaurants that are kind of laid out here, as you can see right behind me. Just sort of cafes, restaurants, lounges, places where people come to enjoy. And I think that's what I really think about Timisoara. It's a very calm, peaceful city. It's very, very easy to just walk around and enjoy the sights. It might not be the most touristy city, it might not be the most visited city in Romania, but if you do want to have a very relaxing place to stay here in Romania, Timisoara might be the best city because it's just so calm and so serene. But we're just continuing heading downwards, heading south of the city center. But this sort of little square here, absolutely incredible when you're here in Romania. As you're leaving Liberty Square right behind me, you get down this beautiful little street here, and you can see it's covered in these multicolored umbrellas. You've got yellow, pink, blue, green. It's super beautiful. It's really colorful, and it actually provides a bit of shade from the hot Romanian sun here in the middle of summer. But you can see it is a beautiful little street, a beautiful Instagram spot. During the day it gets pretty busy because a lot of people walk down it, and this is like a main sort of artery of transportation here in the center of Timisoara. But if you come early in the morning at like 9 in the morning or 10 in the morning, this place is absolutely quiet and you can just enjoy it all to yourself. But even now, I mean, you can tell Timisoara is not like a very busy city, you know, it's not like Bucharest, and there's not that many people. You can still have all your beautiful enjoyment. They've got some cafes, they've got a lot of ice cream shops, so if you want ice cream, which is a great idea in this sort of weather here in Timisoara, you can get ice cream there. And I mean, just imagine having ice cream out of these sort of beautiful umbrella street. This is really why you should visit Timisoara. I really don't know why more people are not talking about this place, because it is absolutely beautiful. This right here is probably one of the most important squares in the history of Romania. This is Victory Square. Now, in the past, this used to be called the Opera House Square because that building right behind me is like the Opera House is the National Theater of Timisoara. But this is now called Victory Square because this is the place, a pigeon literally almost flew right into my camera, but this is the place where communism was prevailed here in Timisoara. This is where people gathered, you know, thousands and thousands of Romanians came here, demonstrated against the communist government, and they announced the downfall of the communist regime and the freedom of Timisoara right on the balcony of that opera house. It's a really incredible sight, and when we were at the memorial earlier, the museum, you saw images of this square just packed with people, packed with Romanians who were fighting for their freedoms, protests, demonstrations, just packed in this square. Today you see it's like completely open, there's like nobody here. But just imagine that, you know, 30 years ago, this place was jam-packed with people fighting for their freedoms on a cold December day, and finally they came and they went up there, they stormed that building, and they established the freedom that we have today here. That's why it's called Victory Square. It's the victory over communism, and that's why this place exists. But it is beautiful. Now, unfortunately, the National Theater, I think there's some like Red Cross thing, some medical thing going on in there, because you have like Red Crosses at the front, so maybe they're distributing COVID vaccines. I don't know what's going on in there. We're probably not gonna go ahead and try and go in, but still a beautiful structure that has a very, very dark history behind it. Now, earlier, Victory Square, that's right over there. You can see the National Opera House, National Theater right there. But right on the other end of Victory Square is this beautiful cathedral, and it's probably the most important cathedral here in Timisoara. This is the Metropolitan Cathedral of Timisoara. Let's go in and see what's inside. cathedral is massive. It is one of the most beautiful cathedrals. It's very different from a Serbian style. You can tell when you go inside. It's not like a Serbian style, but it is the biggest Orthodox church here in Timisoara. It's beautiful on the inside. The paintings are beautiful. The intricate carvings and the pillars on the side are just stunning. Even the pillars out here are just beautiful. But especially at night when the entire cathedral lights up, that's also beautiful as well. It's just really serene, really beautiful, and really quiet here within the Metropolitan Cathedral in Timisoara. It is also one of the main highlights, one of the main icons of the city. So if you don't visit it, you sort of missed out on Timisoara. But what a beautiful, beautiful place just to come and reflect and see the beautiful cathedral in the city. Now, the one thing that really sucks about Timisoara is that it doesn't have any hills, it doesn't have any viewpoints. It's simply just the city of Timisoara, and it's flat. And in that sense, it's very similar to Krakow. But in another sense, it's also similar to Krakow in the sense that around the old town, it is surrounded by these sort of gardens and beautiful parks. You can see right behind me is this beautiful park here. Now, within this park, there are a bunch of really, really old structures that are sort of dedicated to the revolution, to the fight against communism. And I mean, here you can just see one of them right here. You've got soldiers and everything that are sort of pointing to the glory of the Romanian people and the pride that Romanians hold in being Romanian. It truly is beautiful. It's really, really stunning, and it's really inspiring to see that. But like I said, there's no viewpoint, there's no like castle that we can look over the entire city of. So with that, because there's not really much left here in the city of Timisoara, I'm gonna end the video here. Timisoara to me is one of the most beautiful cities, one of the most amazing cities here in Romania. It doesn't have like all the touristy stuff. In fact, I don't think there are really any tourists. But it is beautiful in its own sense. It's definitely worth a visit here if you do come to Timisoara. And there's just so many just sort of serene, tranquil, nice things to do. And I think that's my overall impression of Timisoara. It's a very calm, very quiet city that people just come and sort of relax in. But if you are looking for a relaxing place here in Romania, I would say Timisoara is definitely the place to do that. Beautiful cathedrals, lots of history. I mean, this is the birthplace of the Romanian Revolution. So definitely, if you're interested in that, come to Timisoara, check it out for yourself. But as for the city and as for this video, that's going to be it for today. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more food and travel videos. I'm excited as we continue our journey through Romania. So there'll be a lot more cities we're going to visit, a lot more videos coming out from Romania. So if you're interested in Romanian history, Romanian travel, and all that, definitely stay tuned. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye guys.